Hey, what's going on guys? This is Jake at That Fit Friend, and today I'm going to be doing a first impressions of the Adidas Dropset Trainer 2. So after about a week of training in these shoes, I have to say I am a fan of this model, and I feel like Adidas might be finally hitting their stride with the Dropset Trainer line, at least in the context of making a shoe that is really good for lifting, athletic style sessions, and cross-training focused workouts. So 5 first impressions that I have with this shoe is number 1, I really enjoy that we don't have a ton of toe spring in this model. So if you look at the shoe, it sits pretty flat with the ground, as in there's not a lot of toe spring and there's no beveling of the heel. In the Dropset Trainer 1, the heel was kind of rounded and it was honestly pretty hit or miss in my opinion. I didn't love it that much. So I like that the heel in this model has been flared out a little bit. It gives you a little bit more of a base, and then the toe box up here is also pretty close to the ground. So for deadlifts and lower body days, I've really enjoyed how I've been able to ground the toes in this model. The sole basically seems like it makes it really seamless to really grip the floor when you're training. The second first impression that I have with this shoe is that I like that Adidas is starting to move towards wider toe boxes. Now, this model is designed to have more of a anatomical toe box up here, so we have less of a taper. I have a medium to slightly wider foot width, and I never felt limited in this model at all. I honestly feel like the toe box should be wide enough, I think, for most foot anatomies, unless you obviously have like notably or exceptionally wide feet. But I think for most folks, this shoe's toe box should fit the bill pretty dang well. Now, I will say we do have a TPU medial and lateral sidewall here. So if you have flat feet and you hate like any form of arch or anything pressing into the medial side of the foot, that would be something to consider with this shoe. And more specifically, if you find like Nike Metcon 8s or like even the first Dropset Trainer to bother you regarding their medial sidewall, then you would want to consider that with this model, because I'm not convinced it's going to align with your foot anatomy as well as you want them to. My third first impression with the shoe is I feel like it could be a really awesome option for anybody who likes to blend like things like sprinting, jumping, and lifting all together in one session. Now, this is not going to be your training shoe that works well for mile-plus runs. However, when sprinting in the shoe and when doing like 400-meter interval runs, this model has performed well. And basically, if you're going to be running on the forefoot of the shoe, I don't think it's going to be super uncomfortable. And if you're doing jumping and whatnot, the breathability and toe box and the responsiveness of this dual density midsole does really well. And then from a lifting point of view, I found the midsole to be plenty stable, even though up here in the forefoot, you do have a slightly softer material. So if you're somebody like myself and you like to tackle like more athletic focused workouts on a regular basis, I see the Dropset Trainer 2 as being a really strong shoe for that ask. My fourth first impression with this model is the ventilated midsole and midfoot material down here is really interesting. So you can see like you can kind of see through right here. And basically this feature is designed to give you more ventilation. So I wore this shoe for the first time ever the other day on like a 94-degree day Fahrenheit when I was doing sprints outside. And the breathability actually did pretty well in this shoe. And so if you take out the insole, you can see that we have some ventilation there, but you could basically see through this midfoot. And I thought this was going to be pretty stiff out of the gate, and it does make the midfoot a tad bit stiffer, but it has broken in pretty well. So I've honestly really liked that. So if you're somebody who regularly trains in hot gyms or outdoors, I see that as a big perk of this shoe. And I think that this model will have more breathability than some of its peers on the market. My fifth first impression with this shoe is I think if you're somebody who likes that classic like athletic shoe silhouette, I feel like this model fits that bill really well. The boot does have a nice level of comfort, has a nice like sleek forefoot and midfoot. So I think this shoe looks pretty dang good from an overall aesthetics point of view. And I like that Adidas gives you like these 6 core eyelets, but you also have another 2 eyelets back here for adjusting the lacing. I feel like this shoe should have a nice like athletic fit for most folks, especially since you can like kind of fine tune that tightness that you get with the shoe's midfoot. So overall, I have been a big fan of the Dropset Trainer 2, especially compared to the Dropset Trainer 1. I feel like this model is a step in the right direction. Now, I will have a full review out on this model very, very soon, but if you are going to buy them in the meantime, regarding sizing, I think true to size should be a safe call for most folks. Now, if you have exceptionally narrow feet, you might want to go down to half size, but I think for everyone else, true to size should be a safe call in this model. But if you have additional questions on this shoe in the meantime, drop a comment down below or reach out to me personally, whichever you prefer. And as always, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.